Hey YouTube, I'm AV Obsessed, and if you're watching this video, that means you probably are too. Today I have the probably the biggest item that I've unboxed on this channel yet. It's the Rel Classic 99 subwoofer. So we're gonna cut this guy open. This is an interesting subwoofer because it's made to look as if it's one of the older style Rel subs from like the 90s. So it's got a real walnut finish on it and a 12-inch down firing subwoofer driver. So right when you cut the box open, you see manual here. And then we've got Rel's Nutrix Speak-On connector that's so that you can connect it to your amplifier for high level input. We'll go over that and make the actual full review, and then actually a pretty cheapy looking like super basic C13 power cord. And then some pretty beefy foam here. Like, it was funny because when we went to go pick this up from Best Buy, I was surprised at how big the box was because I know that this subwoofer is not particularly huge, but you got a ton of foam to protect it all the way around, so that answers why that was so big. And actually, I shouldn't throw that off to the side right now. What I should do, put it back in, because I don't want to lift this thing out of the box. Even though it's not particularly heavy, it's actually half as heavy as my SBS SB-4000 that I usually have hooked up, because that thing weighs 100 pounds. This thing is 49.3 according to Rel's specs, but I still don't want to lift it up out of the box. So now it's upside down. That means we get to see the driver first. So it's a 12-inch, what they're calling paper on pulp woofer, which is kind of weird because I thought pulp is paper or whatever. But yeah, inverted plastic dust cap, really big beefy rubber surround on this woofer. Having it being a down-firing driver is pretty smart because that means that they don't need to create a grill for it or anything like that. And it gives you like 360 degrees of base. And then we got nice solid metal feet. One thing that I think is kind of unfortunate is the fact that Rel doesn't give you like a 6 or 8 mil threaded insert right here. So you can't like put on nice like isolating feet from like ISO Acoustics or the cheaper SVS isolating feet. It doesn't really give you that option. Let's flip it over. Get it oriented the right way. Got that nice Rel logo in the top that's embedded into the top panel. Got these really nice walnut panels all the way around. It's a really classy looking subwoofer. It's a shade or two darker than my salamander stand, which is too bad because if that matched the salamander, that would be really cool. But yeah, we got real walnut sides in the top and everything. It's a little hollow sounding for such an expensive subwoofer, $1,900. It's kind of surprising. Let's go over the stuff on the back. So we've got, that's where that Speak-On connector plugs in for the high-level speaker inputs. And then you got high-level RCA input, so that'd be like a full-range RCA input. And the 0.1 LFE input from if you're using it with a home theater receiver. And then crossover and separate volumes for high-level and low-level input. Got your phase switch, which it'd be kind of nice if that was a 0 to like 270 degree versus just a 0 and 180 degree switch, but I don't really personally ever tune phase that crazy. And then you got the auto on off or always on switch, and then the power on off and the 2-prong C13 power. So that's pretty much all there is for the unboxing. I may throw in a little bit at the end here because I think I'm going to pop that woofer driver out and show you what it looks like, what the magnet structure looks like, and what the inside of the cabinet looks like. And then there may be another section at the end where it's like first impressions of what it sounds like. All right, so off camera, I actually went ahead and took out all 8 of the screws that hold the woofer driver in. And also my awesome camera lady left to go grab groceries, so I'm going to have to try to do this one-handed. So this is going to be a little awkward. Oop, there it goes. And there is the woofer. Good thing we got some slack on the cable there. So let's see, what does that thing look like? It actually looks like a pretty basic woofer driver. We got a stamped steel basket. It's not cast, which is usually what you have in a higher quality basket. Got a lot of venting around the voice coil, like under spider venting here, which is good. And a vented pole piece. But it's not a particularly large magnet. It's not like double stacked or anything like that. You can see the back side of the paper pulp woofer cone there. So it's a pretty basic looking driver, honestly. And then inside of the cabinet, you can see it's pretty well lined with some good absorption material. And you got like a little bit of bracing, like running up and down, probably on both the sides and the front. And then the amplifier there, that's Class D, so none of the components are going to be particularly large there. Yeah, I mean, it's honestly a pretty basic design. Nothing seems super impressive with it yet, but I still got to get it hooked up to find out what she sounds like. I guess in this section of the video, maybe I'll throw this in here too towards the end. So this high level input, a lot of people are very confused about how you use this and what the heck it's for. And some people, I'm sure, think it's a gimmick with Rel subs. It's really not, though. It's actually kind of cool. The only thing that's kind of weird to me is I don't really know why they have to use the Nutrix speak-on connector. Like, this is something that you normally find in like PA equipment, like you know, big PA like concert style speakers will connect with this connector. I don't know why they can't just give you a couple of binding posts on the back of the subwoofer to connect your own cables with, but essentially what you do with this is the yellow one, that goes into the positive left speaker terminal. And the red one goes into the positive right speaker terminal. And the black one, you basically just connect it to like a chassis screw, or if you're using an AV receiver, you could use the ground lug that they have there for turntables. And that basically makes it so that your receiver or amplifier is going to feed the amplifier in the Rel the exact same bass signals that your fronts are going to get from your AV receiver or amplifier or whatever you're running. So if you have like a system that doesn't have a dedicated subwoofer out, then you use that to connect it. But even if you still do, like in a home theater application like I'm going to be using it, you still plug in your RCA cable from your receiver into the LFE input on the plate amp, and you connect the high level speaker cable, and then you just get both signals going to the subwoofer. And that's why they give you separate volumes for the 0.1 LFE and the high level input, and you just kind of balance those two. So yeah, I'm going to cut it here. There's a really loud jet going by. All right, so just a quick first impressions segment to toss in at the end of the unboxing video for the new Rel 99 Classic subwoofer. I got it all hooked up with the 0.1 LFE going into my Marantz Cinema 30 receiver, and that big long, they give you a 10 meter cable for that 3 conductor speak-on connector for the high level inputs. It's just rolled up behind the subwoofer, but that is also connected. My initial thought, because I plugged it in and played with the volume with it just connected through 0.1 LFE into the Marantz Cinema 30, and I have the volume on the Cinema 30 for the subwoofer 1 output set to just 0 dB, so it's basically reference level subwoofer output. I don't think Rel gives you enough gain for the 0.1 LFE. If you're going to use this sub in a home theater environment and just have the 0.1 LFE connected, it's not enough volume in comparison to my towers here. The bass that was coming from the sub was barely audible compared to how much bass my towers put out. I mean, my towers put out a pretty good amount of bass, but you know, they don't dig down to 24 hertz like the Rel is rated for here. And then I connected the speak-on cable and started turning the volume up on that, and then you could get a pretty decent amount of output out of it. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised at how little voltage gain there is from that 0.1 LFE RCA input. It's odd in comparison to the SBS SB-4000, which is the same price as this subwoofer. The SB-4000 has so much more output capability. I have the volume, like the internal volume setting on the SVS set to -20, because when you were on Odyssey on the Marantz receivers, it has like a bass volume setup section that basically shows an SPL meter on the screen. They want you to get it to about 75 dB, and that's what I had to put the bass, the internal volume setting on the SVS down to -20 to get it to that 75 dB. I haven't run Odyssey on this thing yet, but I have a feeling that if I don't have that speak-on, well, actually, because if you're running the Odyssey thing, it's going to only be outputting through the 0.1 LFE RCA out on the receiver into the subwoofer. I have a feeling it's not gonna be even loud enough to hit 75 dB, and so it's gonna give you an error message saying subwoofer volume too low. I don't know why the volume gain is so low on that LFE out, but yeah, that's weird. Once I got the speak-on connector, you know, plugged in and started tuning the volume for that, for music, it's fine. I can get it up loud enough and blend it perfectly well with my towers, but yeah, you shouldn't have to rely on that, because if you're going to use it for a hybrid system like this that does movies and music, you need that 0.1 LFE output to be adequate as well. So first impressions are definitely mixed. I really like the styling, but I feel like they didn't give you enough voltage gain. So this is just my first impressions, though. I'm going to be doing the full review, will come out the Friday after this video comes out, and I'm filming this unboxing and first impressions video a week and a day before I even put it out, because I release every Friday. So get subscribed, like the video, click the notification button, all that good stuff, and we'll see what I think of it after I've listened to it for a couple of weeks for the full review. Thanks for watching.